Did you know there are 10 items that will make your craft room more efficient? At least it has for me. So I'm going to step through and show you the items that I use. There will be a bonus at the end. That one's for you, kind of help yourself. But these items are essential for me, at least. So the first thing is you want to have all your machines, including your computer, on a backup battery. You don't want to go cheap on that. You don't want it to be a strip. You want to make sure that it's a good backup battery. So if you're running your machine and the lights go out, the power, and it can keep running for a few minutes until you could stop it. You don't want it all of a sudden pulling the power, the machine stops abruptly. It can break things. It can also fry the memory board, which I've done once, learned my lesson, and now all my machines are on a backup battery. Also, all the computers in the house are too. You just want to do that for safety. Best thing for you. Next thing, I will put a picture of mine up in the corner here. I don't want to move the camera again to tell you where it is. It's underneath. There's one here, one across the way from my other machine. I have two in this one craft room. Downstairs, I have two there. But I'll show you the one I got. It was from Amazon, and I will include the links for all the items that I know where they come from. And hopefully that'll help you. Okay. Next item, I'm going to kind of turn because I put everything behind me. As a sewer and a crafter, these little babies right here are essential. Hold your bobbin in there, and then you're not guessing which thread it goes to. Because a lot of them, they have the rings, and you put it in there, and you're like, oh, that red kind of looks like that red, and oh, and you can't tell. I used to mark them with the letters A on the top of the thread, A on the bobbin. So I knew, and I had that. But now I have tons of threads to me. But when you sew like I do and you're embroidering, these are essential. Love them. Got them off of Amazon, so we'll include that. Next thing. This to me is essential. It's a magnet. I'm going to grab a little something here. See how it sticks? This is real important. When doing with pins that you have in a outfit that's holding it together and you're sewing along, you don't want to try to stick it back in the tomato, things like that. Throw them in here. The magnet holds it. And then you're not looking for it on the floor. Or if you got pets, it's a really good thing. You don't want to, my cats want to attack my tomato, so not a good thing. So that's the second item. The third item I'm going to show you is a small, I'm going to cover the name on it because it was a company I used to work for, is a small screwdriver. That is essential for your sewing machines to get into parts of the machine that you can't get with a regular screwdriver. Now, one is like tightening the back of the, I have a guide on my, on my Husqvarna that at times would come loose. And if I didn't have a really small computer screwdriver, there was no way I was going to get to it. No way. I would have to take it back in. They would have to tighten it down. I just said, nope, going to buy it. I also have your eyeglass screwdriver. That works really well, too, for using on your machines. So that's the third thing. Fourth thing, a labeler. I label everything so I know where it's at. It makes my life a lot easier. I've been using this lately for labeling my cords. You sit there and look and you're like, what cord goes to what? And it drives you nuts. It's like, is that for the sewing machine, or is that for the scanner I have? Or is it for our internet that's up here too? I have two internets. I have one downstairs, one upstairs. So it's very efficient. My husband's IT. So computer deal, he's in, of course, computers. But very important to label. Now, you're thinking, well, you don't want to label the cord. No. The next thing is these little tabs. Now, what they look like, because I'm going to grab a cord that I've done. It's Velcro. And I bought these on Amazon. And I made a little label, as you can see here. This is for my little turntable if I want to display anything. And it turns with the item on it, which later I'll be doing that. But it makes it much easier. And then I could just pull that off and I have it. Really simple Velcro. And they're reusable. Makes it great. Then I'm not guessing which cord goes to what. When you have cords that are plugged in, you want to know what they are. All the cords that you have for charging all the different things, you're like, which one goes to which? You know, great way to do it. Also, let's see, we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is these cord wind up. These are also on Amazon, which I'll include. I got all these and they're Velcro, which is really nice. Yes, I'm going to put that down and I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull this apart here and we're going to take that, and it's just a Velcro piece here. So you take it, put it through the slot, and just tighten it down for your cables. Wrong direction, sorry. That way. And then it stays. It makes it much easier. Then you can also wind up your cables or cords underneath and make it really nice instead of spaghetti under there. That drives me nuts because you end up dropping a bobbin and you're like, where'd it go? You know? And it's somewhere in the cables and you're going, oh God, you know? So it just makes it easier to wind up your cables and make your life a little easier. Why not? You might as well. Life's too short to be wasting a lot of time, especially at my age. So, next thing. This is 8 organizers, containers. I have this one, and I have these type of containers. Great. All different sizes. Make it easier. You don't want dust on your stuff. You don't, if you have pets, you don't want hair all over them. You don't want them laying on the material. And then you go to make something, and of course, the customer's going, why is there cat hair all over it? So, makes it easier. Also, you want to put things away, like these are all my Nido cats, you know, want to bat everything off the edge and onto the floor. So I use these containers. I know they're fresh containers, but I love them. It just makes it much easier for me. But any kind of container that the lid just clips on, better for you, especially if you have little kids too. Good idea to have. Always done this, something I've always done. Now, the next, number 9, is 2 ways I keep my thread wound up if it doesn't have an area where you can slide the thread into the slot or not. One is these, which these are great. It just goes on and clamps right on. And it does on your threads. Holds it the end of it so you're not having thread all over the place. You do not want to have tails on threads with cats. They think it's a toy. This is great. Also, for a little bigger, these go pretty wide, but I use a lot of big cones for embroidery, the 5,000 plus size. So with that, I use this reusable tape. Really nice. And I cut it in half this way. And of course, I cut it long enough to go around the spool. Reusable, it gets a little dusty. Take it on your pants, wipe it. The electricity comes right back. It's like taking a balloon and your hair goes, same thing with this. So me, I like to have mine all organized and not pulling on things or thread going everywhere. To me, that's annoying. After so many years of doing this, I just make my life a little easier. Now, with that being 9, 10. The 10th thing to make your life a little easier, I have wood floors in my craft room because I used to drop needles into the carpet. It's hard to find a needle in the carpet unless you have a magnet picker. Now, the magnet picker might pick it up, or the needle has stuck straight down in the carpet and you can't find it. So we've switched my craft room floors to wood floors, laminate floors, excuse me, not real wood, laminate floors. And my pedal for my sewing machine would slide across the floor. It drove me nuts. As you're sewing, you're sitting there chasing it as it's going away from you. Kind of like the pedal on the car, I'm like, really? So, really simple. This stuff. You can buy it at the dollar store. It's in the laundry area. They use it for for wet things, so it doesn't slide and everything. I use it whenever I don't want anything to slide. I use it for my foot pedal. I've used it for other. Another thing this can be used for, not related, but I've made is openers for cans. Getting a grip on one is difficult. Take this, cut it out, sew a piece of material around the edge, and you have an opener. You don't even have to put material on it. I have them downstairs, square, just open, makes it much easier than trying to figure out, okay, where's the opener at to open the cans, which they do have for older people. But I don't use it because by the time I use it, my battery's dead in it, so it's irritating. That, I'm still able to open it. Makes it great. Also, you're not chasing your pedal to your sewing machine all over the place. So that's convenience. Now, the bonus. This is for you. I sit a long time. When you're embroidering, these designs are not a few minutes. They're hours and hours. I did one design that was 10 hours long. That was a lot. When you sit that much, and during the pandemic, I sat a lot and made masks. I was just making them, and everything. My sciatic nerve started bothering me. because there wasn't really much padding on the seat. I kind of wore it down. I'm not a small person, but I'm not really real big either. But you definitely want to have something to cushion. So I'm going to show you what I have. It is a cushion that, of course, is cut out. If you put it this way in a chair and you sit with your rear here, your sciatic nerve will, and it's got a curve to it, which is really nice for your legs, and it's so soft and cushy. I love it. I have it in the chair I'm sitting in. I have 2 chairs in this room, and each chair has one. And if I'm downstairs working on the embroidery, I'll come up, grab one, and take it down, because that is really comfortable. I would even recommend that in an office. If you sit for a long period of time, that's the ideal. And I'll include the company that I got. I'm not being sponsored by any of these. I just want to make your life a little easier. And that company I bought, like I showed several here, and I love it. I swear by it now, and I wish I had had it when I worked sitting at customer service all day answering the phones, because then my back wouldn't hurt, because you get up and you're like, oh, wow, you felt your age. So definitely make your life better. Make it more comfortable so you can enjoy, not sitting there going, oh, I gotta go. So, but that chair is so uncomfortable. Now I don't mind at all. It's really enjoyable because I don't have to worry about my lower back hurting me. And I don't have to worry about having to have surgery, because it doesn't bother me at all. Yay. So at age 56, I am right now. I'll be 57 this year. I'm going to make my life easier. And if I can help you make yours a little bit easier, I hope this does help in the long run. So I'm going to leave you here, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And we'll include all the links down below, and I'll include the picture again of the backup battery, and so you could have an idea. And you have a wonderful day.